So you want to be a project manager. Smart. It's a challenging, fulfilling field, and the ongoing disruption means there are even more promising opportunities around the globe, as PMI's latest Global Project Management Job Trends 2023 report makes clear. But how do you get started? Let's discuss.
The world is changing fast, and every day, project professionals are turning ideas into reality, delivering value to their organizations and society as a whole. On Projectified, we'll help you stay on top of the trends and see what's ahead for the project economy and your career.
This is Projectified. I'm Steve Hendershot. The arrow is pointing up for project careers, as PMI estimates the industry will need to add an average of 2.3 million project professionals each year this decade. And if you're a good communicator, problem solver, and collaborative leader, you're set up to thrive. Those are the top in-demand power skills, according to the Pulse of the Profession 2023 report. But still, landing that first project management role can be challenging, and in those first years on the job, it's tough to confidently plot a course for sustained career success. But don't worry, we've got you. We're joined by a couple of project leaders who are here to share their advice on how best to pursue a project career and why they love it. One guest, Alisa Vovk, works as a consultant in HR Global Strategic Initiatives at CGI in Toronto and has PMI's CAPM certification. The other, Johanna Kolerski-Bezerra, has the PMP certification from PMI and is a project manager for forecasting at Euromonitor International in London. Alisa's career is still in its early stages and has been focused on project leadership the whole way. Johanna, an economist by training, found her way into project leadership a bit unexpectedly. Projectified's Hannah LaBelle and I asked them for their insights on breaking into project management. Let's go to our conversation now. Thank you both for joining us. Let's start off by talking about each of your career journeys. Alisa, tell me, what got you interested in project management and how did you begin to pursue it?
I was a head student during my university year, specifically for the last 2 years. I was studying applied physics, which is like very far from anything project management related. But because I was this head student, I had those responsibilities. I really enjoyed all of this work on organizational side, dealing with all the students, with professors, with dean office. Somehow, I just heard about project management. And I was like, okay, this sounds interesting. So I started learning more about it. I did some online courses, like the fundamentals of project management. And then I was like, okay, I don't really want to do any masters or continue with the physics, but rather to dive into project management. So after that, I came to Canada in 2018 and I did my postgraduate course in project management. And it was like the actual start for me.
That's what you call a pivot. So as your career has proceeded for a couple of years, has it lived up to the big bet that you made on it?
I would say yes, because I was really focused on project management. It was hard for me to start originally because I finished my studies when COVID started. After a couple of months, struggling, I finally found the service coordinator. So in a small company, I started there. And then after some time, I found actual project coordinator position in manufacturing company in Ontario. It was actually using everything that I learned and applying it in real world, in real company, and getting more and more knowledge and skills. Because academics, all the knowledge that you get there is great, but when you actually do things, that's when you learn and understand why you learned all those things previously. And now, almost a year ago, I joined CGI, and just applying all the skills, knowledge, everything on a daily basis is just amazing.
Fantastic. Johanna, let's hear from you. So I know you were an analyst for a time before you became a project manager. Tell us kind of how that all went about and how you came to project management.
That's right. For me, it's a complete different story. I kind of fell into it, actually, a bit like Obelix, who fell into the magic potion when he was a little boy. This is me in project management. I came back from maternity leave and it's like, hey, you're a project manager from now on. So that was definitely not my first choice. I really wanted to pursue in being an analyst. I wanted to analyze and understand trends, to be an expert in my field. I didn't see project management as my career path at all. Now I'm it. I love it. I'm glad this is what it is now.
How long did it take for you to resonate with that and sort of get over the shock?
It took some time, but I think the problem initially I had was a misconception of what the job was really about. For me, in my head, a good project manager was someone who could effectively plan, organize, and be like an Excel mastermind. But in reality, there's way more to it, and I misjudged that. So when I start to understand what it's really about, what is really needed from a good project manager, then it started to become really, really interesting. And this is where I started to really enjoy the job, where there's way more than planning and organizing and Excel.
Let's dig into that. Give me an early example when you made that jump, a challenge you faced, how you overcame it, but also how it helped you understand what was possible in this work.
When I was given my first project to manage, one thing I noticed very quickly is the main skills that I needed was communication. And I think this is really when I started to enjoy the job. A good project manager needs to be enthusiastic and passionate about their project, and they need to believe in their project. Enthusiasm and passion are contagious. And if you want your team to care about the project because you want to see the successful completion of it, then you need to inspire them. And this is what is really, really interesting about the job, the relationship you are building with the team. And also it's about being able to listen, have empathy. It's all about building this relationship and inspiring the team members to do the best work. And this is where I think the job gets really exciting. You have one goal, you share that goal with the team, and your purpose is to make this project successful. This is what is interesting for me.
Oh, that's awesome. Alisa, how about you? Was there an early project that kind of reinforced why you were doing this and that also gave you confidence as you had to overcome whatever it was thrown at you?
I can't say I had some specific project that reinforced my love for project management and this enthusiasm. I think I just already had it, and just understanding and realizing that I can be part of something bigger on like this scale. What I love about project management is that projects, they start, after some time they finish, and you jump and dive into another thing. And so you can try so many different things and work on so many things, so many people. So how Johanna was saying, like, I completely agree with that. Enthusiasm, I think, is number one thing that works for project management.
We've talked a little bit about skills so far in the discussion. So what would you say are the top 2 skills new project managers should focus on developing? And why pick these specific skills?
The most important skill for me, other than communication, is adaptability, being open to changes. Product management is constantly evolving. New methods, new techniques, new technologies, especially now with artificial intelligence. The most exciting project managers I'm working with at the moment are curious and inquisitive. They are looking into using AI to boost efficiency and collaboration on projects. They're changing the way they're working intentionally. So they're really getting out of their comfort zone. And I find it very inspiring. So really it's being able to change and embrace new technologies.
I would still say the communication is important, but maybe more focus on soft skills. When you work with so many people, it's important not just to be like a robot. Okay, we have the project start, we have the project finish, we have these deliverables. That's it. There are so many things going on inside, and you have to have this empathy towards others. It just helps to work. It helps to create this better environment for working. But also, I would say that analytical thinking would really help in project management a lot. Your reasoning, your ability to make decisions in fast-paced situations and environment, and help you deliver better and better every time with every project.
Given the importance of all the skills that both of you just mentioned, some people obviously have more of those innately than others. What can organizations do to help their project leaders upskill and improve in those areas?
Well, there's a lot that a company can do for its project management team, from giving time to staff to take online courses or attend training programs to gain knowledge and practice skills. Companies can also sponsor project management certification like the PMP. This is what happened for us. And I'm very, very grateful for it. So this is a good way to empower project managers. And also companies can allow staff to do secondment with project management team. We do that a lot in our company, and it's great because it really becomes a win-win situation where us project managers are learning a lot from whoever comes in our team to do a secondment, and they learn from us. So secondment, big win.
Johanna, can you tell us a little bit more about the program your company sponsored to help prepare you for and then take the PMP certification exam? Was it available to project managers across the organization?
That's right. So we all spread across the world, and all the project managers at Euromonitor were offered first the course and then the certification. It was, I think, one of the best presents the company could give to us because they gave us the time to do the course and they gave us the time to learn. We had 40 hours of learning that we could take during our working hours to actually study for the PMP. That was a beautiful gift because today we are all in the same level in terms of understanding what we should be doing to improve our processes and our planning. And we all understand each other. We're all on the same page. So different project managers working on different industries, obviously, or we have different tasks. But we work really well together because that training is really putting us in like one big PM communities. And I think for us, especially since we work across different countries, so we're talking about different expertise, different culture as well when it comes to working. And I think it's a fantastic asset for the company that today Euromonitor can say they have one big team of PMs with the PMP in their pockets.
So let's say someone has never had a role as a project professional and they're interested in pursuing one. What are some ways they can gain the experience they need to break into the profession? And then what's kind of the best way to also market themselves to try to get that first role?
To actually get into the field and get that position that you dream of, I'd say that you just need to study almost nonstop, especially in the beginning. Try to get all those certifications. For example, CAPM. It can actually show your devotion to project management, your responsibility, that you're hardworking, and that you're disciplined enough to actually go study and deliver this without having a lot of work experience, which obviously will help later in pursuing other certifications. Not only CAPM can help, but also others like any courses on Agile, on Kanban, on any other frameworks and techniques in project management, and even these simple ones on LinkedIn that are available, because LinkedIn is a huge platform for getting yourself there and promoting yourself as a professional. If you can add all those to your resume and show that, hey, you completed those several days workshop or 1-2 hour courses, would be helpful because it will actually show that, well, maybe not enough work experience, but actually a lot of academic knowledge, basic fundamentals. Also, I'd say that what I love also about PMI is that there are so many opportunities on lectures and on events and on mentorship programs as well. And also the opportunities for volunteering. So this all will help to promote you, that you are interested, that you are curious, and you really want to get in there. And also important, I think, that during the interviews, when you finally have one in the company that you want to be in, it's important how previously we mentioned the enthusiasm and positivity about the role. It's important to show this enthusiasm and positivity to the recruiters and hiring leaders when you're trying to get this. Show that you are enthusiastic, you really want to get in there, and you know these things for now. And if it's not enough, you are eager to learn so much more and deliver and use everything that you know every day in your position.
What about mentorship? Is that something either of you have participated in, either as mentor or mentee, and how have those relationships helped you in your career?
I think in my case, the best advice I've got from my mentor was to get out of my comfort zone, go and explore, make mistakes if you have to, and learn from those mistakes and share knowledge and lesson learned. I think this really helped, especially when going for the PMP.
I was a mentee from PMI. It was the CAP program, and it was a blast of experience. I was paired with Romeo Mitchell. I learned so much from him and his life stories, how he got into project management, how he was promoted to different roles, his experience, all that time that we spent together, those calls, and the actual plan that he helped me build on short-term goals and long-term goals in terms of my career and what should I focus on and in what time I should pursue PMP certification and what other certifications I can do in the meantime and different volunteering positions as well. So with his help, for example, I started volunteering with Rotary Club for some time. It really gets you in the community and you can use those project management skills anywhere.
We've talked about certifications a bit already, but let's dive in a little deeper there. You both have a certification from PMI. Alisa, you have the PMI CAPM certification. How has that helped your career?
I think it really helped a lot getting those good positions, specifically in project coordination, because it's a huge asset on your resume, that's for sure, especially in the beginning of your career. This is a huge thing. When you're having that interview for the project coordination role, not only you can show your enthusiasm that, hey, I really like it, I really want to get this job. It's just like, I'm sorry, I don't have those 5 years of experience that maybe some people would have, but I already have CAPM, so I know the basics, and you can actually show that, hey, this is from PMI, I'm certified, and I'm really good at it. So the only thing that I'm missing is the experience, and I would be happy if I can get the experience at your place. So that CAPM is definitely a huge asset on the resume in the beginning, 100%.
Johanna, you earned your PMP certification from PMI in February. How has that helped you in leading projects?
Earning the PMP was a breakthrough for me. First, it clarified all the doubts I had. It filled the gaps I had in my processes and in my planning. So that was a big plus. You know, when you see something, you say, this is what you meant. So this is what I had with PMP. And second, and I think this is really, really important, it made me feel more confident. PMP makes me feel like I like my job more because I get it more and better. It gives me a sense of direction. And this is what I really like, is this clarity I get that makes me quite excited, because once things get clearer, you just want to learn more and do more, and you want to apply it to everything. So everything becomes a project. It's quite exciting.
I feel like thus far we've missed out on a huge opportunity to highlight maybe the most important thing to project leadership, professional development, which is listening to project management podcasts. But in the interest of showing and not telling, let's show that off right now. Each of you, what's your top piece of advice for someone looking to break into project management?
Listen to the podcast.
To listen to Projectified.
Thank you. Thank you. You nailed it. That was a clear yes or no question, and you got it. Alisa, let's start with you.
My top advice would be, if you are already, that's great, but to try to become the quick learner. It will help in so many situations and in so many fields. And don't be afraid to ask questions, show genuine interest in what you're doing, what you're trying to learn in different positions. So for example, ask questions to your leader, to your manager, but to other departments, from people who maybe you just talk from time to time, but try to get what they're doing, how they're doing, and it can actually help in what you're doing eventually. So you never know when you're going to need that knowledge. Hear people's stories and apply your previous knowledge. And I would say really don't be afraid to experiment with different things. Like Johanna said, it's so amazing to work with project managers who are curious about current technologies, about AI, and try to implement it right now to their current projects and how technology can actually contribute and benefit their work. So this experimenting, not only with technology, with anything else, is really that entrepreneurial spirit that will get you a lot of things.
From me, the top piece of advice I would say is to be patient. Be patient because managing a project for the first time can be hard. Practice makes it better and easier. So be patient. Don't be scared to get it wrong. You learn from your mistake. You learn there's lesson to be learned. And then the next project will be easier and then second nature.
Alisa, Johanna, thank you so much for being part of our discussion today. We really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure. Thanks for inviting us.
Thanks for listening to Projectified. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to the show and leave a rating or review. We'd love your feedback. To hear more episodes of Projectified, visit Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Stitcher, Spotify, or SoundCloud, or head to pmi.org/podcast.